Hi guys, am I audible? Am I audible? Hi Diksha. So guys, thank you for joining in for today session. So basically we will be discussing about competitive coding and its benefits, its how to prepare and different aspects, type of events, etc. So we will be just waiting for 2 to 3 minutes more and then we'll start. Okay. Just 2 more minutes and then we'll start. So guys, hello and welcome for today's webinar on competitive coding. I'm really feeling so excited to talk about competitive coding as it was one of the best pastime for me back in my college days. So let's start with today's session here. So guys, hi, I'm Dhawal Deshpande, founder and CEO of Codigo Idea. You can find me on this particular handle on all the three platforms. Moving forward, so Codigo Idea, it is an edtech startup with a vision to minimize students' issues and prepare them for competitive professional world. To know more about us, connect on our website, Discord, or social media platform links given in the description below. So let's begin today's webinar by understanding what is competitive coding. So when we talk about competitive coding, it is a mind sport held over internet or a local network involving participants trying to program according to the provided specification. As we just said that it's a mind sport, so it teaches us how to think. Once you enter in the domain of competitive coding, you don't just learn how to code, but also what you do learn is the art of thinking by breaking your code into smaller chunks and then using your logic based creativity to solve a problem from different angles. So when we say competitive coding, as the name of this particular event or domain suggests, it is a challenge, right, in which you have to solve the problem or questions that no one has ever solved before in the least possible time using your problem solving and logical abilities. So programmers use this mind sport to increase their logical abilities, uh, to write an efficient code in short duration of time. One of the oldest contests was organized in 1970s and has grown drastically with time, and now competitions are used as hiring arena by big companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc. Right? So we when we talk about competitive coding, we understood it's a mind sport, right? Apart from that, at for now, it has grown to such an extent that now big companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, they are actually involving in these competitions or coding events as their hiring arenas. So moving forward, let's take a look of the two most important things that you should keep in your mind while going forward for competitive coding. So first thing is patience. It is very important when you are thinking about entering the world of competitive coding. Secondly, you have to regularly participate in the upcoming or ongoing contests, right? So when we talk about patience, it is most important thing you need to learn while solving a problem. Anyone who starts competitive programming as a beginner faces the issue of impatience. The reason behind that is they are not getting solutions for some problem even after trying to solve that problem for like days, and this leads into the impatience factor. I have met many people who started the competitive coding and left it just after a week, and the reason will surprise you. They all left competitive coding because of impatience, and they all used to say that we can't waste our time on a single problem for more than few hours. So I'll say this, that please, you need to have patience, and gradually when you invest your time you will surely feel the improvement in your skills to solving a problem. Moving forward, the second thing is participation in contest. It is very important to participate regularly in as many contests as you can. Why? Because participating in the contests, you will learn many new topics, right? New ways to solve those topics and problems. You will also get experienced in problem solving. As a beginner, you will face some difficulties while solving the problems in any ongoing contest because there will be some pressure of getting ranked above your competitors. Sometimes you will find decrement in your rating, but please don't get demotivated or discouraged by this. Everyone have gone through all these things to become a successful programmer or a coder. Rating is just a matter of time. As the time will pass, you will keep practicing, then you will see increment in your rating as well as your problem solving skills. So as we have discussed two main skills that you should have, right, for solving problems. So now let's check what are these type of problem that we deal in with while working around with competitive coding, right? So when we talk about these basic problem or tasks, there are 19 basic types. There are many apart from these as well, but these are the basic 19 types that you will come across, right? So first thing is time complexity, right? When we talk about time complexity, the efficiency of algorithm is important in competitive programming. Usually it is easy to design an algorithm that solves the problem slowly, but the real challenge is to invent a fast algorithm. If the algorithm is too slow, so if the algorithm is too slow, it will get only partial points or no points at all. Time complexity of an algorithm estimates how much time the algorithm will use to solve the problem. By calculating the time complexity, we can find out whether the algorithm is fast enough without implementing it. The second type is sorting. I do understand you guys do know about sorting, what exactly sorting is, right? However, sorting is a fundamental algorithm design pattern, right? Many efficient algorithms use sorting as a subroutine because it is often easier to process data if the elements are in a sorted order. Third type is data structure. A data structure is a way to store data in the memory of a computer, right? So it is important to choose an appropriate data structure for a problem because each data structure has its own advantages and disadvantages. The crucial question is which operations are efficient in the chosen data structure. The fourth task is complete search. Complete search is a general method that can be used to solve almost any algorithm problem. The idea is to generate all possible solutions to the problem using brute force and then select the best solution or count the number of solutions depending on the problem. Fifth type is greedy algorithm. A greedy algorithm constructs a solution to the problem by always making a choice that looks the best at the moment. A greedy algorithm never takes back its choice but directly constructs the final solution. For this reason, greedy algorithms are usually very efficient. The difficulty in designing greedy algorithm is to find a greedy strategy that always produces an optimal solution to the problem. The locally optimal choice is a greedy algorithm that should be globally optimal. Moving forward, the sixth type is dynamic programming. It is an important topic. So, dynamic programming is a technique that combines the correctness of complete search and the efficiency of greedy algorithms. Dynamic programming can be applied if the problem can be divided into overlapping subproblems that can be solved independently. So there are two uses or two benefits of dynamic programming. Those are finding the optimal solution, right? What we are doing is we are using greedy algorithms, right? So we will be finding the optimal solution and counting the number of solutions. The second thing is counting number of solutions. The seventh type or the seventh task that we come across is amortized analysis, right? So this is important actually because the time complexity of an algorithm is often easy to analyze just by examining the structure of the algorithm, like what loops does the algorithm contains, how many times the loop are performed. However, sometimes a straightforward analysis do not give a true picture of the efficiency of algorithm. So what we do is we use amortized analysis, which can be used to analyze algorithms that contain operations whose time complexities varies. The idea is to estimate the total time used to all such operations during the execution of the algorithm instead of focusing on individual individual operations. Correct? So the next thing is range queries. So range queries are like easy to understand, right? What exactly we do in these kind of queries is we calculate a value based on a subarray of an array, right? So here we work around with arrays and subarrays, and also we do operations based on these two things. The ninth is bit manipulation. As we know, all the data in computer is internally stored as a bit, right? That is as zeros and ones. And for not for only competitive coding, but to be a good or excellent programmer, you should understand the bit representation of data types and also bit operations. Similarly, the 10th task is graph algorithms. Many programming problems can be solved by modeling the problem as a graph problem and using an appropriate graph algorithm. A typical example of a graph is a network of roads and cities in a country. Sometimes, though, the graph is hidden in the problem and it may be difficult to detect it. So these are the basic type of problems or tasks that you will come across, right, while working around with competitive coding. Moving forward, the 11th task is number theory. I do understand you have a good knowledge about number theory. So basically it is a branch of mathematics that studies integers and integer valued function. Number theory is a fascinating field because of many questions involving integers are very difficult to solve, even if initially they seems very simple. Similarly, this 12th point, that is combinatorics, it is a study. It is a study in which what we do is we actually come up with methods for counting combination of objects. Usually the goal is to find a way to count the combinations efficiently without generating each combination separately, right? So moving forward, the 13th task is matrices or matrix. So we do know what matrix is. It is a mathematical concept that corresponds to a two-dimensional array in programming. You have to understand the matrix representation and operations, right? Moving forward, the 14th point or 14th task is probability. A probability is a real number between 0 and 1 that indicates how probable an event is. If an event is certain to happen, its probability is 1. If an event is impossible, it's not going to happen, its probability is 0, right? The best example for this kind of problems or these tasks are the dice problems. Those are the basic example for probability, right? Moving forward, the 15th task is game theory. So in game theory, what we do is we focus on two-player games, and that do not contain random elements. Here our goal is to find a strategy that we can follow to win the game no matter what opponent does, if such an strategy exists. If it exists, we have to work over those strategies. Sixteenth basic task is string analysis. In under this particular topic, we deal with the efficient algorithms for string processing. Many string problems can be easily solved, but the challenge is to find an algorithm that works in least amount of time. Moving forward, the 17th task is constraint programming, right? Constraint programming is actually a way for solving combinatorial programs that draw on a wide range of techniques from artificial intelligence, operations, and research. So in constraint programming, what actually user do is they declares a state of constraint on the feasible solution of a set of decision variables. The 18th task is geometry. So in geometry problem, it is often challenging to find a way to approve the problem so that the solution to the problem can be conveniently implemented and the number of special cases are minimum. For an example, consider a problem where we are given with the vertices of quadrilateral and our task is to calculate its area. The last but not the least type of task is artificial intelligence or AI. So basically, artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence uh, processed by machines, especially computer systems. Specific application of AI includes expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. So these are some of the problem and tasks that we come across in competitive coding. I do understand these particular, some of you guys have actually came across some of the terminologies for the first time, but don't worry. If you are facing issues and need guidance related to this particular these problems or any topic in competitive coding, connect with us for free consulting and guidance on our Discord, LinkedIn, or Facebook. Links are given in the description below. So moving forward, we have discussed about the type of problems that we come across, right? Let's check what are the solutions and steps of solutions that are involved in the process, right? So we have to understand that irrespective of the problem category, the problem can be of any category that we have discussed earlier, like, so the process of solving a problem in competitive coding can be divided into two broad steps, and those are, first is constructing an efficient algorithm, right? So when we say efficient algorithm, it is an algorithm that uses minimum amount of computational resources. Second step is implementing the algorithm in a suitable programming languages. These two are the most commonly tested skills in competitive coding. Having said that, the choice of programming language plays an important role in competitive coding. There's a question that surface again and again, whether it's related to competitive coding, whether it's related to starting your journey as a programmer or a coder, right? That question is, which is the best programming language to start with, right? So, and I also think that at this initial phase, you are looking for the answer to the same question. So the concern here is, as there are n number of programming languages available, right? It is quite difficult to actually go ahead and select a relevant programming language for the process or for the start. But don't worry, let's check top 5 programming languages that are ruling the competitive coding domain right now, right? So these are the 5 languages that are dominating right now. Those languages are C++, Java, Python, Ruby, and Kotlin. So even though these are only 5 languages that are ruling right now, but they have their own advantages and disadvantages. However, as we come across that there are n number of languages out there, you can opt any one of them for competitive coding depending on your proficiency in the selected language. Say you are opting for JavaScript, right? However, you have to work with it, right? You have to explore and experiment with that language to enhance your proficiency at least to that level where you can solve the above discussed problems and tasks. Even though if you are having any difficulties in like understanding the languages and looking for their advantages and disadvantages, and you need any guidance to choose the language, right, you can connect with us, right, on our social media platforms and Discord, and the links for those handles are given in the description below, right? So till now we have understood that what exactly competitive coding is. We have understood like what are the type of problems that we face, and what are the programming languages right now going on in or ruling in this particular domain, right? So now let's check what are the different type of events or competitive formats that we will come across when we are going to search for it, right? So we know that there are different type of competitions and many organizations organize different events. However, these competitions can broadly be categorized into two formats, right? Those two formats are short term and long term. So the basic difference between these two formats are time dependent. So short term actually last for like an hour to 5 to 6 hours, and the long term competition lasts for few days to few months. So there are five of the top competitions that I have come across with. I have listed them. These are like ICPC, which is International Collegiate Programming Contest, which is one of the oldest events started in 1970s. Second thing, I do understand that you guys know about Google Code Jam, right? Third is ICFP, which is International Conference for Functional Programming, right? Fourth one is Challenge 24, and the last but not the least is Open Challenge. So the great thing about Open Challenge is it comes under the open source principle and license, right? So till now we have understood what exactly these things are. We have checked some of the events that we come across while we do search about it. So now let's jump on how to prepare for competitive coding, right? So when we talk about preparing for competitive coding, there are only 5 basic steps that we have to focus on, right? First and foremost thing is that we have to choose a programming language, a base language, right? So you can do competitive coding or programming in any programming language that is available. But while choosing a language, you have to keep in mind that at the time of execution, keep in mind that the time of execution is actually very crucial for competitive coding. So at the time of choosing a language, you have to opt for that language which have a better time of execution, and it will surely benefit you while you are participating in any particular event. Second thing is data structure. So when we talk about data structure, if you want to be a good programmer, right, you need to master some of the basic topics, and data structure is one of them. Basically, data structure helps to optimize code and increase the efficiency of code, right? So for example, we can calculate time and space complexity using data structure to help write the code without the wastage of memory and time. So spend some time on data structure to develop the code efficiency, right? It will help you in long run. Third thing that we have to keep our focus on is algorithm. So the basics of algorithm or programming, we can say to solve any problem in programming, what we have to do is we need an algorithm first which can help us track the solution, right? So when we are solving the problem by finding the time and space complexity, what we can do is we can build a solution that is actually utilizing minimum memory consumption, utilizing minimum memory, right? And which in turns make your code very efficient, right? So most of the top companies like Google, Microsoft ask for an optimal algorithm rather than writing the entire code during their interviews. So here I do understand that you have understood why choosing a programming language, understanding data structure and algorithm is important. The fourth thing here that we're gonna discuss is participate in competitions. Coding contests offer young talented students and programmers the opportunity to measure their capability and compare themselves to other programmers worldwide, right? Motivating them to participate more. The competition also provide you with swag, jobs, internship opportunity, scholarship, mentorship, etc. And even though you are not ranking initially, do not get demotivated and just keep participating to enhance your knowledge and experience. Moving forward, the last thing is keep practicing. Always keep yourself motivated enough to solve the problem. It will help you in enhancing problem solving skill and participate. And with practice, you can do well in competitive coding. Moving forward, let's see what all benefits we get out of competitive coding, right? So competitive coding, or we say esport, is a booming market as it's been gamified in form of virtual badges, physical badges, Bitcoin, cash money, etc. Due to which it has a good grip on both corporate and consumer world. It's no wonder that the same model could lend itself to development, data science, and design. With competitive coding and design on rise in the tech world, more and more companies are looking to these kind of events for the next top technical experts. It can be developers, data scientists, or designers who are actually solving problems and building incredible assets in remarkably brief time. So these events are designed not only to bring the talented members together, but together to exceed expectations, but also to showcase the powerful effect of crowdsourcing on a global scale. So when we say about the benefits, developers, data scientists, and designers don't simply compete to win bragging rights or money, right? You don't even have to come first or second to reap the benefit of competitive coding and design. Training, competing, and ranking can lead to many things, right? Like career preparation and advancement, a good place to improve your skill. High quality work, you can understand what exactly high quality work means. You can come up with the ability to deliver a result under pressure, the ability to better self assess and rate others' work, the new ways of solving problem, and the ability to solve more complex problem. That last this particular last bullet point, right, it is the key. These competition involve more complicated tasks and more extreme time constraints every time to actually make sure that the participants are coming up with new ways to solve complex problems. So apart from these particular benefits, there are three important skills that are developed by competitive coding. First thing is finding a fast solution. Second, writing bug free code. Third is testing code and finding edge cases. Sorry for that. So till now, as we have spoke or discussed about the main pointers, right? Like what exactly competitive coding is, what are the different type of task or problem that we came across, right? How we have to come up with a solution for those particular problems. Apart from that, we have seen some of the best competitions or events that are available with us. We have also discussed about the benefits and the skills that you as a participant are going to enhance with. So here I can say now that you guys got a fair amount of knowledge about competitive coding, its prerequisite, how to start, and its benefit. So hoping you guys will start your journey in competitive coding soon. If you face any issues, you can connect with us and we'll be happy to help you guys. What you have to do is you just have to join in on any particular platform and put your question over there, right? And if you like the webinar, do like and subscribe to our channel. So, and looking forward to see you guys in our next webinar about the basics of Python. Date and time will be announced shortly. For more updates, information and fun, do join our community on Discord or LinkedIn or Facebook, links to which are given in the description below. Thank you very much.